The very first step of the production process for my film was to create a story idea that fits my statement of intent in the folio. After generating several plots and stories, I eventually settled on the one that I was most interested in displaying. After that, I started to create a rough outline of my story, comprised of 6 parts, as well as some extra information added to each scene, such as location, equipment, and transitions. Next, I created a shot list, which is a detailed collection of all the types of shots that I would use in my film. I did this all in a specialized online tool called Studio Binder. I then needed to create a highly detailed linear shot-by-shot timeline for my filming process, which I did in another online software called Woods. I added descriptive metadata to each shot, including the music included, shot type, screen ratio, dialogue, and film techniques. I then initiated my filming process, starting with the easiest shots to film at first, mainly the ones done at home. After filming most of my film, I started on my music. I made my music in a variety of different online software programs like Beethoven, Ava, and Shutterstock. I was able to manipulate the themes, instruments, and tempo within each software. I also found a suitable guitar song and recorded my cousin playing it on his guitar. After watching some tutorials, I was able to suitably edit my audio tracks in Adobe Audition and fine-tune to each sound file. I then created, animated, and rendered my logo and title animations. I added the 3D aspect and depth to the first logo with floating particles. The second logo was similar, but with more complex camera movement and more sophisticated 3D objects. The title sequence was created and animated in Premiere Pro, while still displaying skill with the use of adjustment layers. During and after filming, I was editing and compiling my video clips. I would make videos black and white with a square ratio in a separate project and then import it into the main one. Most of the editing I did was color grading, cutting, and masking. These are the main skills that I used: story generation, film timeline creation, cinematography and filming, directing, masking, 3D animation, video editing, audio creation, and audio editing and compositing. By far the most difficult and time-consuming process was isolating the color of the flowers in a scene. The mask in each frame had to be individually manipulated and moved so that the color remained with the flowers and didn't bleed into anything else. This was further agitated by the fact that Premiere Pro crashed inexplicably on multiple occasions and failed to record a sequence of mask movements several times, setting back my progress significantly. Another equally challenging task was designing and creating the logo animations. Both of them required modeling and texturing, as well as a trial and error process of selecting the appropriate rendering parameters to be able to create a refined product. For quality control, I constantly referred to my friends and family that were familiar with my project, as well as my class teacher. They were all able to give me some excellent and varied feedback on almost every aspect of my film. I implemented most of this feedback into my film and processes. Some friends and my teacher were able to assist with the technicalities of the project, while my family and some other friends were able to help me with the storyline and float some ideas on the scripting and filming processes. This helped me to see some inconsistencies and problems that I had overlooked myself and resulted in a finer product overall. I tried to keep the outsourcing of any part of my project to a minimum. However, there were certain parts that it was required. I outsourced my logo sounds because I was unable to replicate a similar sound effect either digitally or with instruments. I also outsourced a low-poly 3D model of a feather online due to time constraints. As well as this, I used the pop song I Miss the Days, sung by NF, because of how the lyrics fit in with my story. I tried to obtain the official copyright by messaging him on Instagram, but after no response I decided that I was going to implement it without an official copyright given the small nature of my project.